Hello, this is Ollie1Roddy here, and here is the first edition of Premier League Talk. In addition to my Arsenal videos, I'm going to be doing some on the Premier League in general, just looking at some of the biggest, hottest news going on. And as always, I'd like everyone to leave their comments below and we can talk through them in future videos. Biggest news, obviously, at the moment is that of Eden Hazard's transfer to Chelsea. Now, what do we make of it? Obviously, there's been huge media speculation about where he was going and then what he was going to do with the decision, and people following his Twitter. Oh God, it was a big mess, the whole thing. So let's just look at some of the hardcore stats. Obviously, Hazard is 21. He's a winger. He also plays in attacking midfield, or that's where he wants to play at least. In attacking midfield, just off the main striker. Obviously, plays for Belgium. He's been playing first team football now for about 3 or 4 years. I think he's really been involved in the last He's really been involved in the last 4 seasons, so they're the only seasons that I'm going to cover. Before then, he did have a few starts for Lille, but nothing worth mentioning. So we'll deal with the last 4 seasons. In those 4 seasons, he's made 149 full appearances and 42 substitute appearances, which for all the mathematicians out there, that's 191 appearances in total for Lille. In that time, scoring 45 goals and 35 assists. Now that's a good statistic. You know what that essentially means: 191 games, and he's got 80 goals and assists in that time. That means pretty much, you know, he's scored or assisted a goal in just under half of those, which is really very impressive. You know, you can't really fault the guy for that. I think it works out as well, my maths isn't very good. I probably should have prepared a bit better for this, but someone please make me look like a fool and tell me what his ratio of goals and assists to game is in the comments below, and everyone can laugh at me. But yes, no. Either way, 45 goals and 35 assists in 191 appearances. That's a really good statistic. And more importantly, in his last season, in 38 games, he'd scored 36 goals and assists in the French Ligue 1. That was split 20 goals and 16 assists. Now, obviously, he's been signed by Chelsea. I'm sure a lot of Chelsea fans are very happy right now. But should they be? Why am I asking that question? You've signed one of the hottest young prospects, very good player, great history, great record. Why am I saying, well, why be happy about this? Well, this is why. The first thing you've got to know is that he's a winger. Okay, what do I mean by he's a winger? What am I getting at? What are you getting at, Ollie? You're being ominous. Stop being ominous. Well, he's a left winger by trade, and can also play off the main striker. Now, don't get me if I'm wrong, but last season, Chelsea did buy a player who was a left winger, who could play just off the main striker, and that player is obviously Juan Mata. So what's going to happen to Juan Mata? I mean, these two players practically play exactly the same position. And it's not one of those positions like striker or central midfielder where you can maybe have 2 or 3 players on at the same time. No, they're playing a very specific position. They've got just off the main striker or left wing. You can't have more than one left winger, or, well, I suppose you could have more than one player playing off the main striker, but that does become very compact in the middle, especially since both players prefer to play on the left-hand side. Maybe Mata could be pushed over to the right, or of course Hazard could be pushed over to the right, but either way, you're taking a very good player and playing him out of position, which could be a lot of trouble. Also, big point for Chelsea. This season, Chelsea have lost Didier Drogba. Didier Drogba, in case you don't know, is 6'2", strong, athletic, keen eye for goal, likes to play central striker. Eden Hazard is about 5'8", not very strong, not really a striker, out and out, and, well, he's had 265 shots on goal in his Lille career, and 45 of them has ended up as goals. Not too bad a statistic in itself, but when you look at the fact that this season alone he's had 131 shots on target. 131 shots on goal, not necessarily on target, and 21 of those have gone in. I mean, that's one in 6 attempts. You know, for a player who's playing quite high up the pitch, I mean, not too many of those are long shots. He's not clinical. That's what I'm saying. You know, his conversion rate isn't fantastic. I mean, he's not going to replace Drogba. He's not going to do what Drogba could do. Drogba was obviously the menace of Premier League defences with his strength and his physicality, and also his great finishing. So, I mean, you know, Chelsea is still going to need to replace Drogba. And what are you going to do that with? Because, I mean, you've just spent 32 million on Eden Hazard, giving him a huge pay packet, rumoured to be around £180,000 a week. And now you need to buy a world-class striker as well. I mean, Torres, granted, if Torres can come up to the plate next season, then maybe you won't need to. Also, Lukaku, if he starts getting some games, then maybe he will also become a big presence. But, you know, first signing of the season, well, apart from Marco Marin, actually. Don't forget Marco Marin, but he's not a striker either. Your two first signings of the seasons, they're not strikers, and you've lost your best striker, and I don't see the logic there from Chelsea. I think surely they'd be looking to buy an out-and-out striker first. But obviously that's their problem. That's what they have to deal with. If anyone wants to comment any strikers that Chelsea should buy, or any strong rumours that they have going on of Chelsea looking at strikers below, then we'll look at that in the next video. But the last thing is obviously the saga over Hazard and where he was going. Now, for anyone who doesn't understand what I mean by the saga, you should know it went on for ages. He couldn't decide where he was going. 1 minute he was going to this club. I mean, he literally said he was going from Arsenal to Real Madrid to Chelsea to Tottenham. It was crazy. It was all over the place. He kept people guessing. You know, one of the most ridiculous stunts, releasing on Twitter saying, "I have made up my mind and I will tell everyone in 2 hours." You've made up your mind, Eden. Why can't you tell us now? Why do you need to wait 2 hours? Well, it's all suspense and it was all drama. So he's obviously a bit of a diva. Now, do Chelsea need that right now? Do they need a diva in the team going, "Look at me, aren't I wonderful"? And I mean, that does answer in part why didn't he go to Manchester United? Well, Manchester United have players like Rooney, like Vidic, big name players who are going to steal his limelight. Manchester City, I mean, I'm not even going to go through the amount of names of players that could steal Eden Hazard's limelight. Chelsea just lost their biggest striker. Frank Lampard's getting on a bit, not quite producing what he used to. And apart from those 2 players, you know, Chelsea, well, obviously you've got players like John Terry and Mata as well. But I mean, you know, Chelsea, out of Chelsea, Man United and Man City, are the team with the few biggest stars. Is this going to affect Chelsea? Is Chelsea just got a diva into their locker room? Is it just going to be a case of, "Hello, I am Eden Hazard and I am the new Chelsea"? You know, that's what I think is going to happen personally. I think this guy's got a head too big for his shoulders, and obviously football's a team game. You need to work as part of a team. Whatever personal feelings I may have about Man United, they've won so many league titles because they play as a team and they don't play as individuals. You know, and I think Chelsea need players like that if they're looking to win the league, and not players who are going to make the football all about themselves. So there's my view. Look forward to another Premier League talk video coming out soon. As I said, if you have any comments, if you could please put them below and I'll look at them and try and include them in the next video. And until then, please like, subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, thanks guys. Bye bye.